And just about to get underway as the starting fives have been announced. Sit tight. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, sports fans, here we go. Tonight, the Brooklyn Nets taking the floor against the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, for Milwaukee, they'll look to attack, but with efficiency. They want to push the action, but they also want to make the most out of their possessions. They feel that's the key to being competitive on a consistent basis. And in this one, a fantastic matchup in the middle. Shaq, what does the ideal center bring to a basketball team?
Well, these days, it's someone who could beat you both in the post and facing up. You protect the rim, but you also got to be able to switch out on the guards.
To me, it's great centers like Akeem and like the big fella here, Shaq.
Well, thank you, Kenny.
You know, you can build around them with confidence. When the biggest player on the court is the best player, you really got something there.
That's for sure. That'll do it. Both teams ready to tip off. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports. It's a Monday afternoon broadcast of the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And giving us the rundown from the sideline, David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, almost all of the Greek Freak's points come in the paint. Giannis said, I can already do a lot of damage, basically without a jump shot. Just driving, making plays, and free throws. When that jump shot comes, it's going to be a problem for a lot of players in this league. Kevin?
You're right, DA. It'll be scary. Thanks. Great guards tonight for both teams. Did you ever spend any time in the backcourt at any level when you were playing?
No, I was a ball-handling forward, Kevin, and it served me well, but I was not a guard. I was a forward that could dribble and pass fairly well.
So you were ahead of your time because that's all we see now in the NBA, right? Guards are not always bringing the ball up.
Yeah, you know, somebody just mentioned that to me, Kevin, that I was maybe a tad ahead of my time back in the late 70s.
Now, the starting group for the Milwaukee Bucks. They've got Antetokounmpo being out there with Mr. Clutch. Then it's D, and it's Thunder in at the 4. And for Brooklyn, we've got Jay. Cowboy is out there with Durant. Then there's Irving. And it's Jay in at the 5. And the shot goes down.
Irving is comfortable running the offense. When a teammate's open, he's quick to whip it around and get him a good look.
Here's Mr. Clutch. Got loose. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. Thunder passes to Antetokounmpo. 6 to shoot. Over KD. And Giannis gets it to go.
Well, I like how Antetokounmpo takes his time on these shots. No rush. Measures what he wants. That mid-range game, Jay, of his, really starting to get better.
And he gets the bucket.
How about that wonderful floater he has, showing off an exquisite touch.
Well, a lot of rough time for Irving in his final year with the Celtics. Opted out, and obviously Greg wanted a change.
And quickly zeroed in on Brooklyn as a destination. His time in Boston had clearly come to an end by the finale of last season. Now joins up with a new stacked team in Brooklyn.
Well, you know, it's hard to overstate the impact that Giannis has on the floor with his play. I mean, he gives you so much at both ends of the floor, offense and defense, and really draws a lot of attention from the opposing team.
That's good from Antetokounmpo. The efficiency of Giannis. Clark, that's just the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. For years, people were asking, how scary is Giannis going to be? Well, we've got our answer pretty much in the form of he's a nightmare.
The free throw is good from Antetokounmpo.
You know, since entering the league at age 18, Antetokounmpo has really grown. The Greek Freak, now one of the league's premier talents, no doubt.
Now, here is Irving. And it's blocked. Here's Mr. Clutch. Passes it to Antetokounmpo. And here's Martin. Fires it up. No good that time. And Brooklyn will come the other way. Here's Durant. Rebounded by the Bucks.
Fantastic positioning there to contest that one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he challenged the shot, and you can see the effects on the release of that shot. I mean, it turned a simple jumper into a tough one. Well, you can't give him any room to maneuver on the board because once he does, he's going to make you pay.
Pass to Irving. And the shot is good.
You know, in just his first season with Milwaukee, a huge success for Coach Budenholzer. I mean, came in and led the team to the top seed in the East, gave the franchise a huge boost, and I think they found their leader for the next several years.
Antetokounmpo. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Clark for the Bucks. The players said Budenholzer instilled a sense of confidence in the team.
And you know what? Sometimes you have a coaching change, and that injection of a different type of approach and the change in culture can make a big difference. Coach Budenholzer has always shown the ability to get the most out of his roster and shows you what a difference a coach can make.
Throw good. Giannis. Well, Clark, what a year it was for Giannis Antetokounmpo last season. He took everything to the next level from the get-go. He became a top player in the NBA.
And you know what, guys? Early on, you could see it and you could feel it. It was going to be a special year for Giannis because his progression and development, his hunger, his commitment, his work ethic, all of that helped him become the MVP of the league against a pretty competitive field of MVP candidates.
So he picks up just one from the line that time. Well, if you played the traditional power forward position in the NBA years you had back in the 80s, who's doing that right now?
I tell you what, the power forward position has changed so much, Kevin. These four men now are not really the enforcing type, physical guys that we saw in the 80s and the 90s. They're agile, they're rim protectors, they're shot makers from deep. And guys like Anthony Davis, Marcus Aldridge. Yeah. Man, I tell you, Anthony Davis goes to the top of my list in today's game.
Blake Griffin, another one with Detroit.
Yeah, good call.
It's stolen by Martin. Lays it up and banks it in.
Every team looking to get easy ones in transition.
I think one of the best ways, guys, to score in transition is that quick hitter after the first burst.
Jay, the pass to G. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Jay. Martin with the block. Shoots the three. The shot by Middleton. Wide open. And there are the Bucks with another bucket.
Nice awareness from the young forward. Giannis Antetokounmpo showing he wants to work it to his guys.
Dinwiddie with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Out to the right wing. Here's Jay. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet.
Hey, the unselfishness there by Dinwiddie, you love it. He's all about doing what's best for the team.
So at the end of one quarter of play, still a close game. Bucks ahead. They're up by 3. Live from Brooklyn, New York. You're watching 2K Sports. Well, there are a lot of letters that go into the spelling of Giannis Antetokounmpo's last name. He helped set the record straight of how you pronounce it.
In a good way, we gotta say with a D. So it's Antetokounmpo. but in the Greek way, you say with the NT, like Antetokounmpo. Whatever you got, just say, you know, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Seems easy enough, right?
I guess so. I think a lot of people are going to stick with Giannis or the Greek Freak.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And look what we've seen from Milwaukee. What do you think, guys?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
And, you know, for them guys, it's all about tempo. Keep the pressure on and do so as much as possible.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All queued up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. Setting the floor for the Nets. Jay out there with Spencer Dinwiddie. And there's Jared Allen. Then it's G, and it's Jordan in at the 5 down low. Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Karis LeVert comes in for Spencer Dinwiddie, and Mr. Moves subbed in for Jay. And yes, it's good. Lopez has got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Bucks.
Lopez, not to be denied. Nice, strong finish there.
And we see the league-wide move discouraging mid-range shots. The Nets definitely among that group.
Yeah, and it's borne out here in that last season they took the third fewest mid-range shots and allowed the second most. So the analytics message taking real strong hold in Brooklyn.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the reigning MVP. He's the second Bucks player to win it since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he's the third youngest MVP in league history. Kevin, he's just scratching the surface of what he'll do in this league.
You said it, DA, and some good facts in your report, too. Thank you. Here's Mr. Moves after the basket by Milwaukee. LeVert up top, covered by Martin. LeVert the pass to Mr. Moves. Good, nice job down low.
He does not lack for confidence, and he shouldn't. I mean, this guy is a dangerous scorer.
Now here's Bledsoe. He's guarded closely, but they get it going. He gets that one. Lopez has got the lead up to 7 now for the Bucks. The Nets have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
Well, you know, no doubt now the Bucks are an elite team in the East. Not only the best record in the league, but getting all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals as well. This team has a bright future and will be a force in the years ahead.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Jay's checked in for Jordan. Cowboy comes in for Jared Allen. And Durant subbed in for G. The Bucks also changing it up. Thunder's checked in for Lopez. Mr. Clutch comes in for Mr. Perfect. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Eric Hudson. And the Bucks got a lot of big wins, Clark, throughout the season.
They sure did. The Bucks were outstanding all year long. Had a very tough series against the Raptors in the East Final and ended up getting bounced out. But tell you what, this Milwaukee Bucks team, they're going to be in the hunt for championships several years going forward. LeVert the pass to KD. Shoots over Matthews. And the shot is good. The Bucks lead has been cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Durant. And the way LeVert moves the ball, it's all about doing what's best for the team from his eye. Pass to Matthews. Here's Thunder. Shoots from the baseline. That one's off. He's now 1 for 2. Here's Jay. That one a little long. And up the court come the Bucks on the break. Cowboy passes to Jay. Lets it go. The quick look, no good that time. Bucks leading by 5. Lots of room. Does not find the basket. His second miss. He's now 1 for 3. Durant kicks to LeVert. Here's Cowboy. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
That's his first personal foul.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Cowboy. At the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
No good on that.
And a great try record in the draft for the Nets. Karis LeVert selected with the 20th pick, and Jared Allen taken at 22.
And you might want to throw in guys too. Rodions Kurucs, the 40th pick in 2018, had a big impact, even participated in the Rising Stars Challenge. And, you know, sometimes you've got to make your own breaks, make your own good fortune, and that's exactly what the Nets have done.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. The pass to Mr. Clutch. To the paint. The feed to Middleton. The Bucks working the ball around. 5 on the clock. Here's Thunder. He can't get that one. The Nets go the other way with it.
And if they're thinking they can get a 2-for-1 here.
Well, we'll see if they have the awareness to realize that.
And deadly from pretty much anywhere on the court. Durant is a relentless scorer.
Here's DiVincenzo. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Stripped away. Out on his own on the break. Here's Mr. Clutch. Finished off the break. Mr. Clutch has got his first points in this one.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
Just on the clock. Here's Cowboy. No good on the last second attempt there. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Bucks lead by 3. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Chris Middleton. Chris, it seemed like you all were dictating tempo in the first half. How did you do that?
Okay, we're getting the styles, grabbing the rebound now, just trying to push and try to get the best shot available.
Problem solved in transition. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about that first half. A competitive matchup for Milwaukee in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. The second quarter was dead even in terms of their scoring output from both teams, and they still find themselves in a good position at the half. Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks' first half?
Well, one place they had the edge was on the offensive board. They converted those extra possessions into points. Nothing is more demoralizing to a defense than forcing a miss and then giving up a second attempt. The offensive glass is going to pay big dividends for them.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
You know, they didn't play it too safe. They made some really nice shots. Those are some much as long as they stay on the same page and keep working together, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You have to like what we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
Well, we're not surprised by that. No more than what we've come to expect of him. He can adapt and adjust to anything a defense tries to throw at him.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. And on the floor for Mike Budenholzer starting the second half. Mr. Clutch out there with B. And then there's Antetokounmpo. And it's Thunder. And it's Martin in at the center. And Jay gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
First personal foul.
Giannis against KD. Here's Giannis. And Durant with the block.
And Durant isn't just a powerhouse on offense. He also has a great sense of timing for when to block shots.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, tampering is a touchy subject, but it's a word we're hearing more often. Teams want to retain their star players, but they know that there's always talk during a season. Now, teams can only express interest in a player when he hits free agency. Players can talk amongst each other freely all season. Star players like LeBron James are tied into their front offices. And some people wonder if there's as much of a difference between what the player says and what his team is thinking. Kevin?
Good point, David. Thank you.
Taking 2 shots.
Mark, I have sat next to you doing these games for years. What's prevented you from taking a coaching position at some level? Because I hear you talk, I'm thinking you'd be a perfect coach.
Well, a couple of things. One, coaching never lets up. It's always on you, and I've come to enjoy the fact that I can be fully immersed as a broadcaster and work with great guys like you and others, and then have a period of time where I don't have to be immersed in basketball, and I've enjoyed that. And also having trained or prepared to be a coach, because it is demanding in terms of the hours that you have to put in. And I've got a little more job security, I think, in the role that I serve as an analyst as opposed to what might happen if I did try to be a coach.
You've got all the security in the world, believe me. That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
Well, you know, the Bucks can be a real force on defense. We're the top-rated defense last season in the league and #1 in rebounding and challenging shooters as well.
Now here is Martin. Pass to B. Giannis outside. And it's Martin missing.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
A flawless finish on the alley-oop.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they'd love to run.
And as the receiver, he doesn't feel the need to go for the monster finish that time. I mean, laying it up for the 2 points worked out just fine.
And so it's Milwaukee now, following the bucket by the Knex. And he's able to get it back. And he's good on the 3 ball. B's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Nets trail by 4. Clark, the length and size of the Bucks, a big part of their defensive success.
Oh, I agree. I mean, versatile defenders across the board for the Bucks. They can handle switches and pick and rolls comfortably. Makes for a very strong defensive force no matter who's on the floor for this team.
Allen's checked in for Jay. Milwaukee also making some changes. Mr. Perfect comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Eric Bledsoe subbed in for Mr. Clutch. Pass to Mr. Perfect. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. The offensive rebound.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
And there's the call on Mr. Perfect. That is his first foul of the game. LeVert's checked in for Brooklyn. Mr. Move comes in for Kyrie Irving, and then for Milwaukee. Lopez comes in for Thunder, and it's Matthews in for B. On defense, the Bucks, they lead by 4. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Stolen by Martin. Here's Dickow. Oh, and he pucks it off the glass. Wow. LeVert the pass to Mr. Moves. Back to LeVert. There's 1:26 left in the third quarter of the game. 6 on the shot clock. Cowboy passes to Allen. Good work defensively by Martin.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now here's Bledsoe. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Here's Cowboy. Rebound, Milwaukee. Here's the lob to the hoop. Nice catch and finish on the alley-oop.
Decent at spotting his teammates. You know, Bledsoe is good, I think, at reading the defense and then recognizing when he's got an open teammate.
Here's Mr. Moves. Here's the pass to Cowboy. 35 seconds left here in the third quarter. Mr. Moves. Guarded by Bledsoe. Here's Mr. Moves. And it's sent back by Bledsoe.
Boy, that was well done by Bledsoe there. Nice timing on that block.
From deep. That one misses. And so it's Milwaukee with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They've played the better game so far, but their work is far from over. And we'll be back with you shortly. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Well, clearly he's the guy that stirs the drink for him. And that's how he does it, with his dynamite passing skills.
I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. We've got Jay. Karis LeVert is out there with Durant. Then there's Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's Jay in at the point guard position. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Back to LeVert. Passes it to Jay. The rebound by Middleton. And here's Middleton bringing it up now for Milwaukee. 6-point game. Jay, guarded by Bledsoe. Pass to Dinwiddie. Martin against Durant. The Nets need to get a shot off here. Here's Jay. Martin with the block. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. James checked in for Brooklyn. The Bucks also changing it up. Thunder's checked in for Martin. Mr. Clutch comes in for Mr. Perfect. And B's subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Milwaukee leading by 6. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Here's Thunder, and it's sent back by PD. And they're able to recover. Hits it down to Middleton. 5 to shoot. B the pass to Thunder. Goes up again. Milwaukee, no good that time either. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting 38% from the field. A pretty weak showing for them. Jay, covered by Martin. Pass to Jay. Stolen by Middleton. And it's the Bucks on the break. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Up high to stop the alley-oop.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets. An exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk.
Guys, I tell you, there are assists, and then there are delicious dimes. This was the last.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup. Give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
Gets the first, that narrows the gap to 7. Cowboys checked in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And Milwaukee with a change here, too. Antetokounmpo's checked in. B He hits both from the stripe.
The lead's not looking as comfortable after those free throws. Nice job.
Bucks leading by 6. There's a minute 47 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Thunder. It's deflected. KD looking around. Cowboy passes to Jay. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. The pass to Giannis. Shot clock at 5. It's blocked.
And not sure they've got enough time to save themselves.
It doesn't look good, even with a quick bucket here.
Comes up empty down low.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
What a play there. Plus the arm.
Concentration there, Greg. Hung in there. Didn't let that contact throw him off at all. Stayed focused on the rim. Knew he was going to get hit and still was able to finish.
Kyrie Irving, he's checked in for the Nets.
Find the lane. Find the lane. One shot.
Timeout called by Brooklyn. They trail by 9. 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Come on, say craziest fans get a free t-shirt. Let's hear it.
And now let's present our Jordan player of the game, Big Cat.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. Man, that has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. B, the pass to Thunder. Outside, Martin. Now the pass to Antetokounmpo. Bucks passing it around. Here's B. That one off the back iron and out.
I think it's safe to call this one a wrap.
Yep, I agree with you. Chalk it up. W in the bag.
And so the Bucks take the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. So long, everyone.